Good morning, my Real News Midday TV family. Thank you so much for tuning in this morning, and I'm wishing for everyone a wonderful and a productive day. Please remember to leave a comment, like, and a share. And in the news this morning, for February 1, 2024, homicide probe launched into missing man's death in Mandeville. Police have launched a homicide investigation after the body of a man who was reported missing since Monday was found in bushes in the upscale Mandeville community of Ingleside on Wednesday with what appeared to be stab wounds. Relatives identified him as a Colin Watts, 52, a land surveyor and a resident of Hanbury near Ingleside. A police source told the news that investigators observed the wounds on Watts' body while it was being removed from a ditch on Tangerine Drive. In an earlier report, his sister, Kay Watts, told the news that her brother went missing on Monday after he left home to exercise in the community. We have been searching for him from Monday. He went missing on Monday. He went for a walk, and today, Wednesday, we came across the body off the road on Tangerine Drive in a little ravine, she said. Person of interest in rape of elderly woman known to her. Well-placed sources have revealed that the person of interest in police custody in connection with the rape of a 91-year-old Westmoreland woman is someone she knows very well. The individual was taken into custody on Tuesday, and the police are awaiting the results of a DNA test to determine how they will proceed. The elderly woman was sexually violated between the hours of 10 p.m. Saturday and 1 a.m. on Sunday. Residents told the news that this was the third time she was being raped while at her house in Darlington. According to them, after the first incident, she was placed at a local infirmary for her safety. However, she expressed a desire to return home, and she was allowed to leave. After the latest incident, the senior citizen was treated at hospital and released. She is now back at home. On Monday, she recounted the latest horrific incident to the news. Lord have mercy, him pull the blade and come in, and me I say how him come up the high places there. 2 sticks around the back, I hit him use and come in, she said. Him come over me and hug me frightened till me almost dead, the distraught woman said, adding that she asked the perpetrator to stop. Reports from the police are that the elderly woman was alone at home in her 2-bedroom board dwelling when she was awakened by strange sounds coming from her rear window. She then saw a man in her room. He overpowered her and had sexual intercourse with her against her will. According to the police, the attacker removed the louver blades from a rear window to gain access to her house. After her ordeal, the elderly woman called a neighbor who alerted the police. Cops transported her, accompanied by a relative, to the hospital where she was medically examined. The investigations are ongoing. Witness faces cross-examination on secret recordings. Denverlin Bubler Minot, the star witness in the Everton Beaches Town MacDonald murder trial, looked uneasy Wednesday during a cross-examination by defense attorney Christopher Townsend. The witness had told the court he secretly recorded telephone conversations he had with MacDonald. MacDonald, who is a Portland businessman, is on trial in the Home Circuit Court in Kingston along with Oscar Barnes for the July 20, 2020 murder of Tonya MacDonald, who was the businessman's second wife. Her partially burned body was found on the main road in Sherwood Forest in Portland with multiple stab wounds and her throat slashed. Minot, who claimed he was just a contractor in the killing, alleged that he got the job from MacDonald to kill Tonya and that he ended up subcontracting the hit to Barnes. Minot was sentenced to 19 years and 10 months in prison for his role after he confessed and agreed to become prosecution witness against MacDonald and Barnes. Townsend, who is one of 5 attorneys representing MacDonald, questioned Minot about phones he claimed he used to record the conversations and whether those types of phones accepted memory cards. He asked the witness if he recalled giving evidence that he recorded from a yellow phone. Minot said, "Yes sir, a yellow peanut phone." The attorney then asked him if he in fact recorded using the peanut phone. Some of them Minot responded. Townsend then probed if he truly recorded approximately 120 calls between himself and MacDonald. "It was over 100. I don't remember the exact number. I handed over all the recordings that I know was on the phone and memory card, and I handed to the police. All of the recordings on the memory chip," Minot told the court. Townsend asked him whether he had read the transcripts of the recordings he gave to the police, and the Minot told him he cannot read and therefore did not read the transcripts. Minot said that a lady read it to him, but he never understood it, so he wasn't listening. Townsend asked if he agreed that the police made him listen to 38 recordings, and the Minot said that he did not know how many recordings were played or how many he listened to. They told me to identify the voices, Mr. Townsend. I don't know if I listened to over 100 recordings. I don't remember if I heard all of the recordings I supplied to the police. I know I heard something, Minot said. The attorney probed whether he recalled telling the court that McDonald would take phones and the SIM cards from him and replace them with new ones on different occasions. Minot's response was, "I never tell you that he gave me new chip. Each time he gave me a phone, he gave me 2 chips. I don't know if the chips were new or old. I don't know if the numbers were new. Each time I get the 2 chips, I never checked on the numbers them. I use the phones and the 2 chips to call Mr. McDonald and Miss Mack. I never use it to call anyone else. I got chip from him 4 times. On each occasion, I put it in the phone I received. I called Mr. McDonald from it and he would call me on it." Minot continued, "All of these phones can hold a memory card. That is how I came by these recordings." Townsend quizzed the Minot as to when he made a particular recording and if he used a peanut phone to record it. "I just know it was in 2020. It was a black banger phone that Mr. McDonald gave me, and I used it to do that recording. I don't remember the brand," an annoyed Minot said. After being pressed by Townsend to declare the brand of the phone he said he recorded it on. Minot claimed during his testimony in September last year that he began to record the conversations with the businessman after he wasn't forthcoming with the $3 million he alleged was promised for the contract killing. The trial continues today. 151 children who went missing last year still not found. The Child Protection and the Family Services Agency says that 151 children who went missing from January to December 2023 are still missing. This number includes 133 girls and 18 boys. The agency says that this is 14.7% of the total 1,027 children who went missing for the period. The agency says that while the majority of children were recovered safely, it is still concerned with a larger number of children who go missing each year and is making every effort to curb the crisis. The CEO of the CPFSA, Loretta Adams Thomas, says a major area of strategic focus for the agency for 2024 is ensuring the implementation of various strategies to reduce instances of missing children while improving the effectiveness of recovery and intervention efforts. Director of Children and the Family Programs at the CPFSA, Dr. Warren Thompson, says that the missing children phenomenon is a complex one that requires a comprehensive strategy. They were speaking ahead of the Another Alert Western Youth Forum, which will be held on Thursday and will focus on developing solutions to address this problem. This forum will be held in Montego Bay, St. James, and will allow students from a wider cross-section of schools in the Western region to hear experts present on the topic and participate and have their voices be heard when it comes to creating relevant solutions. House Speaker urged to table not hide Integrity Commission investigation report submitted to Parliament 10 days ago. Pressure is mounting on Speaker of the House of Representatives Juliette Holness and her deputy, Heroy Clark, to table an investigation report that was sent to Parliament by the Integrity Commission on January 22. Despite a ruling by Holness on November 7 last year that investigation reports from the IC would be tabled as soon as possible and then sent to the IC Oversight Committee, the latest investigation report from the anti-corruption body is yet to be tabled. Justice Seymour Panton, chairman of the Integrity Commission, said that when the anti-corruption body sends an investigation report to Parliament, he expects it to be tabled as soon as possible. At the same time, Robert Stevens, co-chairman of the Advocates Network, said it was absurd that the parliamentary leadership should delay the tabling of an IC report, noting that it sends the wrong signal that they have something to hide. When Julian Robinson, member of Parliament for St. Andrews South East, asked the Deputy Speaker of the House, Heroy Clark, on Tuesday whether the report would be tabled, Clark said he could not provide an answer at that time. As to the question you have raised as it relates to the IC, I am not in a position to give an answer to that. I will investigate as best as possible, and if be, I will bring back the information to the House of Parliament. I will give an answer as soon as it is with me, Clark said. The week before, when Holness resided and was asked a similar question, she said, "The ruling of the Speaker stands. Please refer to the ruling as it relates to the tabling of all reports from the Commission." In her ruling on November 7, 2023, Holness said reports of the Director of Investigations submitted under Section 54(4) will be tabled as soon as possible after receipt by Parliament, having regard to the serious nature of the matters that are contained thereon. It will require the immediate and direct attention of the House. After it is tabled, it will then be submitted to the Integrity Commission Oversight Committee for their consideration and report. She also indicated that all reports from the Integrity Commission would be reviewed by officers of the House before they are tabled. The House has 2 sittings since the investigation report was received by Parliament. The IC chairman said the anti-corruption body was not aware of any impediment to the tabling of its report. As far as the Commission is concerned, when we send a report to the House of Parliament, we expect it to be tabled as soon as possible, and for us, as soon as possible means just that, as soon as possible, he said in an interview. The IC chairman also questioned the thinking behind sending an investigation report to the IC Oversight Committee. "I don't know what purpose that would serve, because our reports are not capable of being edited by anyone," he declared. Further, he made it clear that the IC Oversight Committee cannot properly or legally stop the tabling of the report. Stevens urged Jamaicans to demand that reports from the IC be made available to Parliament and by extension the public. It is absurd that anybody, including the Speaker of the House, should be delaying the laying of those documents in front of Parliament and exposing them to the entire country. He reasoned that the entire approach the government is taking to the IC and reports from the Auditor General is indicative of a government that is trying to hide something. Why are they trying to hide these reports? It doesn't smell good. Stevens said IC reports are like the proverbial sword of Damocles hanging over the head of every politician. The IC revealed in its annual report last year that 6 parliamentarians were being investigated for illicit enrichment. The IC cannot divulge the names of the persons under investigation until a report is tabled in Parliament, as they are prohibited by a gag clause in the law. Jamaica failed to improve its score of 44 on Transparency International's 2023 Corruption Perception Index. The country also remains at 69 out of 180 countries in terms of its ranking. In its report that was released on Tuesday, Transparency International said collusion among the powerful in Jamaica, as well as the overwhelming dominance of the executive over the legislature, has weakened the Parliament's oversight capabilities, creating conditions ripe for abuse and corruption. Transparency International also said that the executive's failure to close gaps in the governance framework weakens the pursuit of corruption cases involving organized crime and fosters impunity of high-level corrupt elites.